Sid Kajino set the bar dangerously high. Overpowered protagonist, secret society chaos, and self-aware comedy that hits different. So here are 10 isekai flying under the radar that deserve way more attention. Number 10, Sasaki and Peeps. Sasaki is a lonely salaryman who adopts what he thinks is a regular bird. Surprise, it's an ancient star sage from another world who pulls him into fantasy dimensions, spy thrillers, and magical girl wars simultaneously. The genre blending is genuinely insane. One episode feels like corporate espionage, the next is full isekai adventure. Multiple plotlines collide in ways that shouldn't work, but absolutely do. A second season is already confirmed. This show does something most isekai refuse to try. It commits to tonal chaos on purpose. Sasaki doesn't want power or glory, he just wants a warm meal and peace. Watching a tired middle-aged guy accidentally become the most dangerous man in two worlds is the underdog energy this genre desperately needed. Slept on criminally hard. Number 9. Headhunted to another world. From salaryman to Big Four. A corporate drone gets killed by a car and immediately recruited by a demon king the moment he arrives in another world. No dungeon crawling, no struggling from zero. He skips straight to executive-level fantasy politics, managing armies and alliances using modern business strategy. It's society building meets demon kingdom management, with an MC who treats dragon subjugation and diplomatic negotiation like back-to-back PowerPoint presentations. Aired winter 2025, 12 episodes. The premise sounds like a shitpost, but the execution is surprisingly solid. There's something deeply satisfying watching a guy apply spreadsheet logic to medieval warfare and actually win. It's not trying to be Overlord, it's its own weird thing. If you appreciated Sid's commitment to the bit in Eminence in Shadow, this scratches a very similar itch. Number 8. Omyo Kaiten, Rebirth vs. Delinquent. Takeru gets flung through dimensions after a freak accident and lands in Denji Heiankyo, an alternate, futuristic version of feudal Kyoto where Onmyoji magic is real and humanity is fighting oni monsters. After dying in his first encounter, he time travels back and must train under the legendary Abe no Seimei himself to survive and save a girl he's been dreaming about his whole life. Action heavy with a distinct cultural identity. Isekai rarely plants its flag in alternate Japanese mythology, most just default to pseudo-European fantasy. This one drops you into a world where seals, shikigami and oni warfare are the main event, and the setting alone separates it from the seasonal flood. It's rough around the edges, but the aesthetic and soundtrack hit way harder than anyone expected. Genuinely underrated. Number 7, A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. Salaryman. Takeru reincarnates in the sword and magic world of Maidus with an unusual set of cheat skills, including a powerful search and gathering ability that lets him locate rare materials other adventurers can't find. Rather than joining a combat-focused party immediately, he builds his strength through resource collection, exploration, and slowly assembling companions along the way. It's a calm, methodical isekai that rewards patience over flashy power displays. Aired fall 2025. Gathering as a power fantasy is a genuinely underexplored angle in this genre. Watching Takeru stumble into rare materials and hidden opportunities that frontline fighters blow past is quietly satisfying in ways loud action shows aren't. It's not trying to reinvent Isekai, it's just a chill, earnest adventure. Perfect watch when you want the genre without the screaming. Number 6. I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. After a life spent being betrayed despite doing everything right, Liam reincarnates in a massive space empire and decides this time he's going full villain. Ruthless, selfish, maximum evil energy. Problem? A mysterious force keeps twisting every wicked decision into peace, prosperity, and genuine loyalty. His corrupt noble act accidentally makes him the most beloved lord in the galaxy, and the harder he tries to be evil, the worse it gets. The irony engine on this show runs at full capacity. Liam trying so hard to be despicable and repeatedly be competent and fair, the gap between self-image and reputation is comedy gold. It carries serious eminence in Shadow DNA. Protagonist commits to a self-assigned role while reality refuses to cooperate. Hilarious, underrated, and way more fun than it had any right to be. Number 5. The world's strongest rearguard. Labyrinth Country's novice seeker. A dying salaryman reincarnates in a labyrinth city where everyone must explore monster-filled dungeons to survive. He starts as a rearguard, the support class nobody respects, but his tactical mind and unusual skills make him disproportionately powerful. He builds a loyal all-female party, uncovers labyrinth conspiracies, and quietly becomes the greatest supporter alive. The anime adaptation was announced and is set to premiere in July 2026, based on the acclaimed light novels. Fair warning, the anime isn't out yet, but the source material has been building a cult following since 2017 for exactly this kind of slow-burn isekai done right. Support class protagonists are rare, and this one earns every win through strategy and party synergy, not cheap power spikes. It's one to bookmark. When July 2026 hits, this one needs to be on your radar. Number 4. Magic Maker. How to make magic in another world. The protagonist dies on his 30th birthday and reincarnates in a world with monsters, nobles, and fantasy politics, but absolutely zero magic. Nobody in this world even has a concept of it. Rather than accept that, he decides to invent magic from scratch using his knowledge of science and physical laws, becoming the world's first magical researcher and pioneer. It's less adventure anime, more intellectual origin story wrapped in isekai packaging. Inventing magic from scratch in a world that doesn't have it is such a compelling hook. Watching him work through logic, failure, and discovery to build something the world has never seen scratches a completely different itch than sword-swinging power fantasies. It's quiet and methodical, but the payoff when a new spell comes together is more satisfying than most action climaxes. Slept on hard. Number 3. Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. Active Super Sentai Red Ranger Togo Asagaki gives his life defeating the final villain and wakes up in a fantasy world instead of dying. He immediately starts treating monster subjugation exactly like tokusatsu villain fights, calling out attack names, summoning giant mecha, and applying his unbreakable hero of justice philosophy to literal dragons. He teams up with a sorceress and a princess, and his Sentai collides with gritty fantasy reality constantly. Aired winter 2025. Eminence in Shadow works because Sid is fully committed to the bit. This show operates on the same frequency. Togo isn't ironic or self-aware, he genuinely believes in his Sentai code. Watching a guy shout finishing move names at actual dragons while his party stares in complete confusion never stops being funny. Absolute genre gem that barely got talked about. Number 2. The Water Magician. Rio reincarnates in the dangerous fantasy world of Fi with aptitude for water magic, an element most dismiss as weak. Stranded alone in a monster-filled wilderness for years, he masters water manipulation at a scientific level, pressure control, ice construction, fluid dynamics weaponized into techniques no one else has conceived. What starts as survival against isolation becomes a systematic proof that water magic can be the most terrifying force in existence. Aired summer 2025. There's something deeply satisfying about watching a supposedly inferior element get deconstructed into something genuinely terrifying. The show treats magic like a science. Every new water technique feels earned through actual logic rather than plot convenience. It's contemplative and methodical, and in a seasonal landscape obsessed with fire and lightning, water magic supremacy was not on the bingo card. But here we are. Number 1. Three ordinary middle school boys accidentally crack open a gateway to a parallel Earth that's been invaded and occupied by aliens. When one boy's little sister gets pulled through and captured, the trio follow. In this hyper-realistic world, their cartoonish bodies give them superhuman powers, and they slowly become the most unpredictable force in an ongoing war for humanity's survival. Dark, strange, and unlike anything else in the genre. Anime arrives July 2026. The premise alone, chibi middle schoolers becoming supermen in a gritty, alien-occupied Earth, is the freshest structural concept Isekai has offered in years. It's not a power fantasy, it's a survival story with one of the wildest visual contrasts in manga history. It might be anime-pilled readers only for now, but when July 2026 drops, this list's top spot will finally make sense. There it is. 10 isekai that deserve way more eyes on them. The genre isn't drying up, you just have to know where to dig. If this list saved you from another rewatch spiral, drop a like and subscribe. More lists are coming.